Happy Thursday, everyone. We got a fun work set coming your way. It's going to be long, but it's meant to be low intensity. So I hope you guys have fun with this one and approach it with kind of a nice steady state kind of flow and not attack it too much. It's long, it's steady, and I hope it's a nice chance for you guys just to move well today. So today what we have for you guys, we have a little warm-up. It's going to consist of a wide stance, good morning, for 5 to 10, side lunge for 6 to 10 alternating reps at a 303 tempo, Sumo Squat for 3 to 5 at a 313 tempo, plank to bear squat to side plank. I'll walk you through that process. You're going to just cycle through that flow for 20 seconds, and then you do that for 2 to 3 rounds. From there, we're going to move down to this little triplet, back lunge to high knee for 20 seconds per side, into a goblet squat hold for 10 to 30 seconds, knee plank walkout to hamstring curl with 3 to 5 reps in there, and I'm going to show you what that's all about. It's kind of fun, a little different sensation through the hamstrings, but we'll have some fun with it today. We'll hit that for 2 to 3 rounds, and we're going to move into our work set today, which is a little on the longer side. It's 25 minutes, so what we're looking at is a dumbbell step up for 50 reps, plank walkout for 10, air squat for 20, into a dumbbell standing march for 2 minutes of just steady state. And then you're going to do plank walkout again for 10, air squat for 20, into that dumbbell sumo deadlift high pull for 50 total reps, 25 per side. And then you're going to hit it up with a plank walkout for 10 and an air squat for 20. It's going to be a good time. We'll get you warmed up, ready for action. All right, guys, let's get you warmed up. Let's get you ready to go. Let's get our feet under our hips. We're going to take the arms big and tall. Might be a little stiff after yesterday. Let's take it to one side. Take it to the other side. Oh, yeah, there we go. Bring those hands to the hips. We'll take the hips around. Little glute squeeze to keep the hips kind of leveling and together. We'll take those hips around. We'll go the other way. Nice and easy. Waking up those legs a little bit. And then we'll come back to center. Bring the feet a little closer. Take the arms up. And we're going to take it all the way down to the floor. We're going to touch the toes. We're going to walk up the shins. We're going to come down. Framing a foot. We'll step it back. Now we're going to go back and forth with this. So keeping our hips square, we're going to lower the knee, we're going to press the hip, come back through, straighten the leg, straighten the front leg. Plant the foot, lower the knee, press the hip, center, straighten, and straighten. Plant it one more time, lower, press the hip, center, straighten, and straighten. Plant the foot, step it back into that lizard. Or sorry, that's that down dog, sorry. One of those animals. We'll walk those heels out, back and forth, nice and center. And then we'll come back through. Other side comes up. Hip stays square to the front. Lower the knee, press the hip to center, straighten the leg, straighten the front leg. Plant the foot, lower, press the hip, center, straighten the leg, plant the foot one more time, lower, press, center, straighten, and straighten. We'll plant that foot, step it back into our down dog, reaching those hips nice and high. We'll walk our heels a few times, nice and gentle, nice and easy. Come back into our plank, tiptoe those feet up. We're going to roll ourselves all the way up, big tall stretch. Good, little reach. Little reach. Good, come back down with those hands. Whew. We'll get you guys fired up. All right, so pause the video if you want to take down any more gentle kind of warm up. Maybe show your body, your upper body a little bit more love after yesterday, or prime up the lower half. We're going to start off with this first phase right away, which is going to focus primarily on the lower body. But if you want to show that upper body a little bit more love, take her down, pause the video, and then come join me, and we'll walk you through this first piece. So our first phase of warm-up today is going to consist of some wide stance good morning. So we're revisiting this nice wide stance. Toes are slightly turned out. We're nice and tall in the hips. Hips are open, glutes are tight. And from here, what we're going to do is take it nice and set, and we're going to pull the hips back, keeping the upper body still. The knees are soft, but they're not bent like squat legs. And then we stand up nice and tall. Good. So again, from profile, I go into that wide stance, that nice set position. I squeeze, I pull back into that nice hip position. I stand tall. So again, it's the hips going back which displaces my upper body, and I find that nice hinge, and then I stand. So keeping that in mind, we want to think pull and let the chest come forward. We're just trying to maintain that nice tall body. After that, we have some side lunges. So again, my legs are going to go back in that wide stance. Nice and set. I squeeze my glutes. I'm going to think squat. So I'm going to take my hip to my heel, keeping that body nice and tall. And I'm going to push through that leg, opening up the hips, taking it down to the other side. I keep my body upright, working on my good squat mechanics. And then I push through that leg and stand tall. The big focal here, keeping that one leg straight as we explore that squat mechanic on that single side. The knee tracks the toe, that foot stays nice and flat, and I stay as upright as I possibly can. I want to make sure that I'm staying strong in that glute and hip so that I can maintain that nice active back position. From there, we're going to stick with that lower body. We're going to come in a little bit with our stance and focus on our sumo squat. So the sumo squat, again, we want to focus a little bit more attention on those knees going out, or else the knees will collapse in. So hip, going to go to the heels, taking it down. Knees are going to get pushed out a little bit more, but the big toes are staying down the whole time. Even though I'm pushing my knees out more, I'm really staying focused on the big toe staying in contact with the floor. So again, sumo stance, I get set, push my hips down towards my heels, my knees go out, I stay as upright as I can, as if I was doing a normal squat, but my feet are just a little bit wider. You're going to feel a little bit of different sensation everywhere through the legs and the hips. Take it to as deep as you feel comfortable, maintaining again that nice back position. Last but not least in this, we have a little combo sequence on the floor in our plank. And we're going to cycle through this for 20 seconds. So I'm just going to go through the sequence. We're going to set up in our plank with a space between our feet. So I hit my good plank position, I take my hips to my heels, I hit my bear squat to wherever that happens to be for me. I come in to my side lunge, and I open, I come back, hit my plank, pull back into that bear squat, I extend, rotate into my side plank, come back in, pull back, my feet don't move, I just rotate them onto the side, and I hit that nice side plank. And just cycle back and forth through that piece for that time frame of 20 seconds. I'm going to turn away so you can see what my feet do. So I'm going to go turn my back to the camera so you guys can see that position. My feet are in my hip width position. I take it back into that bear squat position, and then I open to the side. So you can keep your feet like so, which gives us a little bit more balance as I make that rotation. And then I can flow right into my bear squat from there. Don't have to do a lot of footwork, don't have to do a lot of foot movement, and you're not holding that side plank for any certain amount of time. You're just showing control, coming back into that good strong plank, and then pulling back into that nice strong bear squat. Focusing again on those wide fingers, so we're pushing through our thumb and our pinky equally, so I can keep that nice square hand. Now, quick little recap with that. We have a wide stance, good morning, for 5 to 10. Side lunge for 6 to 10 alternating at a 3:03 tempo. Sumo squat for 3 to 5 at a 3:13 tempo. Into our plank to bear squat to side plank. We're just going to cycle through that little flow for 20 seconds. Have some fun with it, you guys. Enjoy. It's a lot of different type of movement in that kind of complex, that gymnastics complex. So really feel that flow from movement to movement, really finding those engagements through the arms. 2 to 3 rounds of that. Pause the video, take that down, rock it, get yourself ready. We're going to move into a few other hybrid movements in our next phase to get you ready for what's to come. Our next phase is going to involve a few props. So we'll make sure you have either a small foam roller, a rolled up towel, a little softball, something you can squeeze in the back of your hamstring and your knee pit region, along with a little extra padding for your knees if you need it. I need it, so I have a little bit extra padding because the floor is hard. But if you don't need it at home, don't worry. You just need something to squeeze in between your hamstring and your glutes. So I will make sure, and I'll walk you through that process. But if you need to go grab something now. and we'll have some fun with this one. But we start off without props into our back lunge with high knee or high knee jump. And you're gonna do 20 seconds per side. We did this not too long ago, a couple days this week, and we're gonna use this again as a chance to work on some coordination. So from here, what we're doing is we're gonna step back, loading that body up, and we're gonna come up into that high knee. So I step back into that good lunge, step up, and I step back, and I step up into that high knee. Now you'll notice that I'm bringing my opposite hand, so the leg that's going back is the hand that's going to go forward at first, and then as I come up into my high knee, my other hand comes up into that nice kind of motion. And that's going to transition into the jump. So if you're going to do the jump variation, we load, and then we spring through that leg, switching those arms, and pop through that ankle at the end. So again, I load, step up, and I come back down. Like the RDL jump, we're not going to get a lot of height in this, but the idea behind this is coordinating those different sides of the body to generate power and get that vertical hop, or start to work that balance necessary to get that vertical jump over time. So either one, regardless of which one you choose, you're going to take down 20 seconds per leg. You want to focus on good squat mechanics, or good lunge mechanics in that back lunge. And if you're looking at me right now going, Dave, I'm not lunging today, I'm just not doing it, that's fine. What you can work on is that back scale, keeping everything nice and still, nice and strong, balance, and then you're going to come up into that same position, or hinge, and up. So you can work on the back scale to jump, or back scale to high knee. It's up to you where you want to go with that one. Have some fun, work on that balance, work on that coordination. Don't worry about reps, worry about smooth movement into that flow. From there, we have our Goblet Squat Hold. So I'm going to get myself set up with my dumbbell. And we're just using this to open up our squat position a bit. So my regular squat stance, I get that set up, I pull that dumbbell up under the chin, I'm pressing into the dumbbell to keep my body a little bit more active, and I'm going to take those hips to the heels, keeping those feet nice and flat, weight through the midfoot, body tall, and I'm going to stand nice and tall. So I'm taking my time to get down there. We're holding for anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds. So as I take it down, in the bottom of this position, I'm constantly checking through my checklist. Weights through my midfoot, knees are pressing out a bit, my body's upright, and I'm constantly going through that. If I need to come out early, I'm going to come out of it before I have to kind of contort my body. So we don't want to have to shoot our hips up to get ourselves out of the bottom of the squat. I'd much rather see you come out a little sooner, maybe 15, 20 seconds, opposed to the full 30, so we can leave the squat how we enter. So we want to think with those good squat mechanics as we enter and as we exit the squat. Take your time with that one. If you'd like to play around with an empty-handed position, please do so and just do an air squat hold. It's going to help open up those hips again, just without a little bit of load. Now the last one's kind of a funky one. We're going to find a little bit of hamstring engagement. And this is where we get our props. So I'm going to get myself set up with some ab mats for my knees. That's the only reason I have those there. And then I have this little foam roller. And this could be a towel, it could be a little ball, something that's going to stay in between my calves and my hamstrings. I find that a big foam roller, especially with these pants I'm wearing now, tends to slide out. It's really hard to hold on to just because it's so big. This is a little smaller, but even a rolled up towel, which we kind of squish a little bit, would be fine. So we get into this position, we tuck that thing in behind. What we're going to do is squeeze into our knee plank. So my hands under my shoulders, I'm squeezing my heels to my bum, and then I'm going to walk my hands out in that walkout, still squeezing, and then walk my hands in. I walk my hands out, walk my hands in. So the hard part about this is maintaining the tension on the foam roller or on the thing you have in between your calves and your hamstrings. That is our primary focus. Not necessarily how far out you go, but continuing the tension, continuing the pressure on that hamstring and waking that thing up. We're gonna get a really good little hamstring sensation as we do this. So really focus on the squeeze, not so much the distance. Now, with this one, also, I don't want you to squeeze it so hard that you get a hamstring cramp. We don't want the hamstring cramp. So keep that in mind. If you feel your hamstring starting to get angry and cramping up, ease the tension on the towel or whatever you're using behind your legs so that your hamstrings stay happy. We just want a little bit of engagement there for them. As a quick little recap on this triplet, we have a back lunge to high knee jump or back lunge to high knee, 20 seconds per side. Goblet squat hold for 10 to 30 seconds. Knee plank walkout with hamstring curl, 3 to 5 reps. Taking your time with those ones again. Taking your time on the walkout so we can still maintain that control and that hamstring engagement. 2 to 3 rounds. Take that down, pause the video, come join me for what's to come because we got a fun, long list of work to do. All right, you guys. We are here at the workout, the movements that we have. We have a dumbbell step up for 50 total count reps, plank walkout for 10, air squat for 20, dumbbell standing march for 2 minutes, plank walkout for 10, air squat for 20, dumbbell sumo deadlift high pull for 50, 25 per side, and then we finish off with that same couplet, plank walkout for 10, air squat for 20. So it's gonna be a good time. Again, this is executed at low intensity, so I don't want you to try and blast through this 25-minute AMRAP for a ton of rounds. I just want you to move well, all right? Focusing on a few key points in each movement. So our first opening exercise is the dumbbell step up. So if you don't have anything to step up, I'll have some different options for you, and it's okay if you reuse some of these movements in the work set. So keep that in mind if you want to in place, put that sumo deadlift high pull in place of step up, or if you want to do standing marches for all three, that's totally fine as well. You can choose and make your own adventure and see where it takes you. But our step up option, we can hold the dumbbell under the chin, we can hold it in the front rack, we can hold it at the suitcase or double farmers. It's up to you on what you want to do for the step up. Keep it pretty light though, because we want to try and stay moving and not have to rest too much. Now, I'm going to get myself set up at my apparatus that's stable and sturdy. I bring one foot up, knees over the heel. I push through that leg, standing fully straight on that leg, and I come down, and I'm just going to alternate. We want to make sure that we're fully extending that leg and not sneaking it in and standing it up. We want to make sure we get everything out of this leg, making sure we're keeping everything tight to the body, tall, upright body position, and good control of the knee as we do that step down. So again, if you don't want to load that, you don't have to. Whatever's going to give you the best sensation to keep you moving smooth. We got 50 reps, so it gets a little tiring, but have some fun with that one. It's a nice smooth step for that single leg strength. From there, we move into our first round of the couplet that we have throughout the work set, which is a plank walkout. We did a variation with the hamstring curl earlier on. So in the work set, what we're going to do is visit that good plank position, pulling the ribs and hips, pressing the shoulders up. We establish this plank first, and then we walk our hands out as far out as we feel comfortable. Setting those shoulders, setting that hollow, and then walking back in. And that would be 1 rep. You can also execute this from the knees, maintaining that nice strong position that we did earlier without the hamstring curl. Walk back in. Or if you really like that hamstring curl variation, be my guest. Use it in the workout and have some fun with it there. We have 10 reps to take down. Out and back is 1. And again, work for quality. If you need to break those down in 2 reps at a time, please be my guest. Or just take your time and walk out a little shorter distance than you normally would. After the plank walkout, we have our air squat. Very similar mechanics to our goblet squat, except no weight. So my feet are in my regular squat stance. I get myself set up, my glutes are engaged, nice and tall, taking my hips to my heels. I keep my knees tracking my toes, my body upright, and I just take it nice and smooth, and steady. The goal here with the air squat, again, is to find a pace that works really well for you, that you can maintain and just move well with. After that first set of the couplet, we move into our dumbbell standing march. So you can hold the dumbbell again in a multitude of places. You can hold it in the goblet. You can hold it in the front rack, the suitcase, even overhead, or the Zercher position. But keep in mind, we're doing this for 2 minutes. So we want to make sure we're holding it in a spot that we can maintain control over that dumbbell. Now as we do the march, we're going to squeeze our glutes and our ribs so that we're stable. And I'm going to shift my weight, lift my knee, and lift my knee. I'm not lifting my knee so high that my other leg buckles. I'm just focusing on a height that allows that balancing leg to stay straight and that my hip and my quad get a little engagement from that lift. So I'm just keeping it smooth, keeping it steady. I'm not trying to sprint those marches. I'm just in it for the long haul. High knee march with that dumbbell for 2 minutes, nice and steady. Once we're done that standing march, we move into our plank walkout for 10, our air squat again for 20, and then we finish off with our dumbbell sumo deadlift high pull for 50 reps, 25 per side. So our dumbbell again is going to go in between our feet, nice and solid, cutting our foot in half. We're going to stand super tall, glutes tight, ribs tight. I pull the hips back and down. My chest is going to be a little higher, my hips will be a little lower, and I'm going to push through those legs hard. So we're going to push and let that dumbbell's momentum carry up, and I'm just going to give it a place to go with that arm. Then I'll come back down, maintaining a good back position to wherever I feel comfortable. I'm going to push through the legs, letting the momentum carry the dumbbell up and back down. I'm going to go to the side so you guys can see my back position. I hinge, pulling everything down, chest is high. I'm going to push through the legs, push, and that elbow goes high and back, so I keep my chest and shoulder open in that good, strong position. So we want to think about scarecrow in that nice high and outside position. From there, we'll take down 25 per side, 25 on the other side. We'll move into our plank walkout for 10, air squat for 20, and then repeat that work set again. So we have a lot of time, 25 minutes. It's still not going to be a ton of rounds, but you'll definitely get through it a couple times for sure. Take your time on these movements, move well, and remember, this is meant to be a more lower intensity kind of work set, so take it at a pace that you can continue to move and just stay steady. I hope you enjoy this work set. I hope you like the slightly lower intensity today. We're going to attack you guys with a fun little work set tomorrow, so I hope you enjoy that one as well. But enjoy your day, have a ton of fun. Again, work for quality on these movements. Pick 1 or 2 pieces from each movement and just hammer that kind of quality work in there, and that'll help keep you a little slower in movement and focused on form and technique. Have a great day. We'll see you soon, and enjoy. Bye, you guys.